All right, great. Welcome, everyone. Thank you again for attending one of our first community updates since the launch of Manta Network. And so, what we'll be doing today is I'm just going to be going through a lot of the updates because I know there's a lot of things that are going on. And then, apart from that, happy to answer any sort of community questions. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand or feel free to write the question down in the comment box. And if you raise your hand, happy to invite you on stage and discuss. Um, but I guess, we can go ahead and kick things off. So there's going to be several I guess, things we want to talk about first. And it all starts with the launch of the Manta Network parachain. And so we recently secured that through a self funding for a parachain slot. And so we've successfully secured the parachain so that we can start bringing everything online. For those of you that are new community members, you probably noticed that over the past few weeks, we've made a lot of announcements. These are a lot of things that we've been working on in the background for a really long time now. Manta Pay on Calamari, for example, was launched on testnet just a little over a year ago. Um, and it's gone through several iterations, and it's been, we received so much community feedback, and that's been what's been used to kind of bring Manta Pay to where it is today. Um, so yeah, MantaPay is the first product that we recently launched, and it's currently on Calamari Network, and it's live. For those of you that don't know what MantaPay is, MantaPay specifically allows users to privatize transactions, and this is for fungible assets, so any sort of cryptocurrencies. The native assets that we support on MantaPay right now are KMA, which is Calamari's native asset, as well as KSM, which is the Kusama Network native asset, KAR, which is Karura, but that is, we have to bring that back online after a little node issue, and as well as Moon River. And something that you may have noticed in our roadmap, but we haven't really announced yet, is the inclusion of USDT pretty soon as well. And so we are working on that. We have put in a runtime upgrade to support USDT, and we're in the process of testing that, and hopefully that should be released as another supported cryptocurrency asset on MantaPay in the next upcoming few weeks. So stay tuned for that information. It's already on our roadmap. Yeah, sorry, before I continue, I see there's already a request for speaking, so I'm just going to invite Crypto Cook BNB. Hey, Crypto Cook. I think that we could probably hear you if you want to, say hello. No? Okay, sure. All right, cool. No problem. We'll just continue. So yeah, again, Manta Pay is live right now, and so for those of you that want to try it out, privatize transactions, you can go to app.manta.network, um, and you'll be able to start privatizing crypto assets, including KMA, KSM, and Moon River. And pretty soon we will be supporting USDT. And so that's the updates on MantaPay. Next up, we also have the Giant Squid NFT program. And so, for those of you that have been with us for a while now, you probably already are familiar with the Calamari ecosystem on Kusama, and you probably have been pretty eager to try out MantaPay. And so, the Giant Squid program is specifically for the Calamari ecosystem for people who have KMA, who have been transacting on MantaPay, And it's, in a way, you can think of it as an early rewards incentive program for early adopters on MantaPay. And so if you do have KMA, if you are transacting on MantaPay, definitely check out the Giant Squid program. There's 4 different squid NFTs that you can collect. And these 4 different squid NFTs are based on your level of contribution in terms of the transactions on MantaPay, the amount of KMA that you're holding, as well as your support on our social channels. And definitely worth checking out. And for those of you that haven't been familiar with the Calamari ecosystem, you can also participate and receive a giant squid NFT. You just have to hold KMA for a certain amount of time, and also actually it's a 10-day period, and also transact on MantaPay. So definitely check out the Manta Network Giant Squid program. We've tweeted about it. You can go into our Twitter account and find it there. And then Gary, if you don't mind linking it into the comments channel, just so that people can have easy access to it. Thank you. The Giant Squid program is running for another 11 days, so this still gives plenty of opportunity and plenty of time for people to participate. Again, there's 4 different NFTs that you can collect. Out of those 4, you can only collect 1 out of the 4, and so please make sure that you're selecting the right one. Um, and yes, these are going to be NFTs that are very likely eligible for future airdrops once Manta Network's token is online following the launch of Manta Network. And so, yes, the NFT is definitely something that you'll want to collect if you qualify for it. So, again, there's still plenty of time to collect it. And if you haven't tried out Calamari Network or MantaPay to qualify for this, you still have time to do that as well. So definitely encourage people to participate in the Giant Squid NFT program. And so again, if Gary or Venkyo or anyone listening, has a link to that, you can post it directly into the comments section on this chat, and we can give everyone sort of easy access to it. Yeah. So, with that being said, right, I think that the Giant Squid program, MantaPay, as well as the assets that we're supporting, um, this information can all be found on our new website. So, our website, we've gotten a major makeover for people that are probably in the previous, or have seen the previous version of our site. You probably noticed that there's a lot more detail now. And so I encourage everyone to, spend some time, take a look around. It's manta.network, same URL as the old one. Provides a lot more information about what we're building, the ecosystem side, and everything that we're doing in terms of roadmap, what we're following up with in the short term, in the medium term, as well as some things that we have yet to announce. So please feel free to go through that site to get all the details there. But yeah, so we got MantaPay, we've got Giant Squid. We have started kind of alluding to some of the ecosystem projects that we're working on. And so with Manta Network, right, it's not just about deploying payments and private transacting, but it's also about making sure that we can bring privacy to other applications. And so as part of that effort, right, we're expanding beyond just products on Manta Network and looking at integrations, partnerships, and services for products that can be built within our ecosystem. And one of those I think we had kind of alluded to last week was AsMatch, which is a new application that is using astrology for matching in Web3. And AsMatch is actually going to be using one of our latest technologies that we just announced today. And so that technology itself is privacy enhanced SBTs and NFTs. So SBTs being soul-bound tokens, NFTs being non-fungible tokens. We specifically refer to it as ZK SBTs and ZK NFTs. And this whole premise, for those of you that don't know what a soulbound token is, it was originally discussed by Vitalik back in 2022, early 2022, and it is essentially an NFT that is not tradable. It's an NFT that is directly linked to your wallet address, and it provides different aspects of identity for your own wallet address. AsMatch is one of the ecosystem projects that are building on us that will be using ZK SBTs to help with linking that sort of identity. But because we're adding that privacy element to it through ZK, that means that while you're able to connect your identity and aspects of your own identity to that ZK SBT, the ZK SBT itself does not reveal any information about you. So if you think about it, for example, if someone here has a Bored Ape on Ethereum through ERC20 through their wallets, everyone can see on the public blockchain who owns that Bored Ape, which wallet address it belongs to, what other crypto assets, what other NFTs belong in that wallet, what transactions have been made through that wallet, et cetera, et cetera. With the ZK SBT or ZK NFT, users on the internet are no longer able to do that. So if you own a Bored Ape ZK NFT, for example, then you're still able to verify that you own it, but other people, once you verify, they can't look at your verification and associate other NFTs or other transactions or other cryptocurrencies with your verification. So it's not like they can see all of your other assets in your transaction history. So that's a strong layer of privacy that we're actually delivering through ZK SBTs and ZK NFTs. And so we're excited for AsMatch to be one of the first projects that'll be using that. But definitely there's going to be a lot more projects in the ecosystem as well that'll be leveraging our ZK SBTs and ZK NFTs. But right, like the SBT and the NFT itself at the end of the day is a core technology, and we want to make it as simple as possible for people to access and use those technologies. Sorry, I see someone else's raise their hand, so I'm just going to add them in as a speaker. So in order to allow people to use this technology, the ZK SBTs and the ZK NFTs that we've produced, as easily, as simple as possible, we also have a platform called NPO, which stands for NFT Private Offering. So we're building a platform that allows people to launch ZK SBTs and ZK NFTs. You can think of it almost like a marketplace, but it's not a public NFT marketplace where you're able to link, again, transactions and history and wallets and all this other stuff that could compromise your identity and compromise your privacy on chain. But instead, it is able to exclusively launch ZK SBTs and ZK NFTs so that when you are distributing it to your users, your community, then all of that privacy enhancement is also given back to the user so that they don't have to worry about what is associated or linked together, because they can just simply verify that they own the ZK NFT without having to expose any other information. And so the MPO makes that whole minting process dead simple. It means that users can go in just as they would mint on any other NFT platform, but instead of minting an NFT or an SBT, they're now minting a ZK enhanced NFT or a ZK enhanced SBT. AsMatch is actually going to be using that same platform to be minting out the AsMatch ZK SBTs, which will later be used for their platform as well. But for those of you that are interested in the ecosystem development, right, we actually have AsMatch coming on one of our Twitter Spaces on Thursday, and they'll be joined by another project that we are going to be introducing that week or on Thursday as well. And this other project, we haven't announced yet, so I can't reveal too much details, but I will give you a hint. It is in the metaverse space. And so, we are focusing a lot on the ZK SBTs and ZK NFTs and the utility and the use cases within social fi, metaverse, gaming, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, and finally, apart from that, right, we've also got a lot of AMAs coming up this week, and it's going to be one almost every single day. Um, Tomorrow we have an AMA conversation with Mad Crypto as well as Santiago, both really respected influencers in the space, and we'll specifically be discussing their concerns around on-chain privacy and why it's such a necessity and why it's under-addressed in this space. Um, so please, please attend that as well and bring any questions you may have. I think what's really important here is that, everyone in this space probably already understands the importance of on-chain privacy and why, a lack of it means that Web3 will never really scale to the degree that we want it to. But, like I think one of the problems here is that people outside of this Twitter space, they don't necessarily recognize that problem yet. Because right now the narrative is still around, oh, if I need privacy, I must be doing something bad. But that's not truly the case, right? Like privacy, I think, is required for any level of user adoption. And so, definitely very early. And so would love to, hear more from other people in this space who have been in this space for a while and their thoughts on-chain privacy. Oh, hey, hey guys, I think,
I have a question.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to know the exact difference between Manta Network and the Calamari Network. I don't know the difference between the two. Which is the parent network and which is the subsidiary?
Yeah, good question. So, the it's I think parent network and subsidiary might be the wrong terms here because they are at the end of the day their own independent networks. Manta Network and Calamari Network are using the same core technologies that are developed and maintained by the same core team. So Manta Network, I'd say, is more of the main primary network that will be doing a lot of the sort of ecosystem development on and stuff. And Calamari Network will be the canary network for Manta that exists on Kusama. And this is where all of these sort of earlier features and basically things that you can test will appear first. And so Calamari Network right now has kind of evolved into its own independent network. And it has MantaPay launched on it already. And so for anyone interested in trying out MantaPay, definitely you can try it out on Calamari Network. Manta Network is a little bit slower to launch. We are in the process of getting that launch sequence initiated right now, which you could see based on our announcements. But yeah, MantaPay, ZKSBTs, NFTs will all launch with the launch of Manta Network. So at the end of the day, right, like they are their own independent networks. Both of them leverage zero knowledge proofs for on-chain privacy. Both of them have MantaPay, and they share a lot of the same core technologies that are developed by the same core team, but they service different ecosystems. Calamari Network is specifically focused within the Kusama ecosystem, and Manta Network is focused on the broader Web3 ecosystem. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yes. Hey
Can
there.
I ask the question?
Of course.
Okay. I was one of your ambassador. Yes, I took part in auction, the first auction that Manta took part in parachains. Yes, and